Here's a question from Chris O'Hanlon. He asks, my wife is from Cebu in the Philippines. We're considering living there during the winter months and would like to find some beach property. I have done some looking while we were there last, and it seems as soon as they find out you're an American, the price triples. I need to find honest real estate agents and other honest professionals in the Cebu area. This is a good question. I have not personally ever been to the Philippines. It's high on my list of places to go. Cebu is one of the places, or Cebu, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, is one of the places that I've been hearing about as a nice beach type of lifestyle. But I can comment on this idea that when you show up, and they find out you're an American, the price triples. This is a common occurrence in a lot of foreign countries, and there's a few different ways to get around it. One is, if your wife is from Cebu in the Philippines, she should have some local family contacts that you can ask around and have them ask on your behalf. Rule number one is to try not to be, too upfront in the sense of approaching sellers of real estate um, as a foreigner. They are going to raise the price on you. So one way is to work on your local contacts and get them to do the shopping for you. And I'll often include, some sort of an incentive for them to do so. I don't expect them to run around and do all that work for free, so they should get paid like a real estate agent, even if they're not really a real estate agent. If that's what you're asking them to do, pay them for it. Um, Secondly, my opinion has always been that, well, if I believe that the price, of the property has tripled, but if I'm also in the belief that the seller really wants to sell, I'll often offer, a third of what they're asking. You know, uh, that's something that no one would ever do in the U.S. or probably never even in Europe or Canada. They feel that somehow the asking price is is relatively close to the price that they would accept at the end of the day. But in some of these other countries where you get a seller who you believe based on your research is asking an exorbitant amount for that property, it may not mean that they're not willing to sell it, and and they probably won't be offended if you offer them far less than what they're asking, and be patient with it. And you'd be surprised once they find out that and you got to be convincing that this is a serious cash offer, that you really are willing to write a check for that amount of money. You'd be surprised, some of them will come back to you and come down to a reasonable price, and hopefully you can meet somewhere in the middle. But I wouldn't turn the switch off just because someone throws out a silly price. A lot of times they don't know what their property is worth, and they don't want to be the silly one that sold, that threw out a price that was way lower than what you were willing to pay. So I'd be tempted to offer back, something that you think is reasonable based on what you know, and keep doing that. Eventually, you're going to find someone that needs money, and if it's a reasonable price, they'll take it.